Welcome to Stay Tuned Buddies. Like I always start with every episode. In Akan or Twi, we always say Akwaba. When we go to Nigeria, my second home, the Yoruba people say Ekabo. And when you go to my adopted country, France, the French people say Bienvenue. We have another interesting topic to discuss today. I'll be talking about, visiting visa. And, when you want to visit, there must be a purpose for you trying to visit. Some of the reasons could be you're coming for a graduation, you're coming for a honeymoon, you are coming for a wedding, you're coming for a naming ceremony, or you just want to visit for sightseeing. All these type of visits come under one category of visa, which we call the B1, B2, or popularly known as the tourist visa. I know most of you might have heard of it. Also, sometimes people also get invitation, like, hey, I need my brother, my sister, my cousin, my auntie, to just come spend the holidays with me, So those are the type of visas, and all this type of, purpose come under one category of visa, which is visiting. Now, the whole process of applying for this type of visa is the easiest among all type of visas. You must have documentation to show why you're going to visit. For example, if you are coming for a conference, you must have a letter showing you are being invited for the conference. If it's for a graduation, your school should be able to issue you a letter, detailing that you have a graduation coming up and you are inviting Mr. A, B, or C to attend the graduation ceremony. However, even though you have all this documentation, you must be able to also show supporting documents. And when I say supporting documents, it could be you must have a valid international passport. I know most of us always try to get a passport when you want to travel, but you must have a valid passport. When we say valid passport, an unexpired passport. Besides that too, you must also be able to show documentation that you have the financial resources to be able to take care of your traveling. You don't want to come here and be a burden to whoever you are coming to visit. Upon gathering all this necessary documentation, you should be able to go ahead, visit the website, apply for your B1, B2, or tourist visa, fill in the required information. The website is very straightforward, very easy to fill the application. Go ahead, do all that good stuff. From there, you have to pay the visa application fee, schedule your interview, And one thing you must note on the day of the interview, stay calm, don't be nervous, because some of us try to create this compelling spectacle when we go for interview. You have to realize that these officials at the embassy have seen so many people come and go, so there's no story you're going to tell them that they've not heard before. But above all, be direct with your answers, be specific. Don't go into stories when they ask you, for example, why are you going to visit? Then you start telling them from the moment you woke up to the breakfast, how you got in the shower, how you dressed up. No, be specific with your answer. Give them short, concise answers, because you're not the only person they have to deal with. Let me give you a story of a friend of mine who went to the embassy for a visiting visa, who was coming for a conference. And while they were sitting down waiting for him to be called, there was this guy that was being interviewed, and every question they were asking this guy, man, trust me, this guy kept giving them answers, documentation to support. My friend was so engrossed in the whole conversation that was going on that he forgot that they were calling his number. But lo and behold, even though this guy provided all the documentation and was able to answer the questions correctly, he was denied. However, my friend went for the interview. They only asked him about 2-3 questions, short answers, concise, provide necessary documentation, and he got approved. So this goes to show that you don't have to rely on hearsay or what other people's experience are. Every situation is peculiar and unique. Sometime last year, I invited my dad for my graduation, and the only thing I sent to him was just a letter of invitation from my school saying, my dad is attending my graduation. He took the letter, the passport, I don't know, just other documentations like his financial resources, just to show, hey, you know, I can cater for my traveling. I'm not going to be a burden onto my son when I go. He was approved. You know, his interview was just about 1 to 2 minutes. So, like I said, your response has to be concise, provide necessary documentation, be honest, very articulate. You know, some of us Africans, we have this accent that, you know, when we talk, they might not understand us, but we have to be very, very articulate in the way we enunciate our words when we are talking to these people. Lastly, when you are approved for a visiting visa, that is all we want, right? To be approved so we can go visit for whatever reason we are coming here for. Every country have the website for their country to apply for visa. So if it's Ghana, you have to go to the website that applies to Ghana. If it's Nigeria, you have to go to the website that applies to Nigeria. They don't have like just one specific website. So let me use Ghana for example. Go to Google, type in US Embassy in Ghana. It's going to pull up the website for you. Apply if you're thinking of visiting. If you're thinking of coming here to stay, they're going to get you. I'm just kidding. But, you know, at the end of the day, I just want to wish you guys good luck. And, you know, if anyone has any more documentation, or did I say documentation? No. Anyone has more information regarding what I just said, you know, you can put that in the comment below. And, you know, I'll be able to respond to it, or, you know, any information that you add is also going to help the next person.
But we have a lovely guest over here, Juliet, and she's. We're going to, you know, talk about, you know, student visa, because we know we have a lot of viewers out there who are planning to travel, whether to the United States, Canada, Australia, any part of Europe, to study, and they want to know some of the criterias, what they need to have if they are traveling to those countries, and how to apply for schools in those countries. So, hello Juliet, how are you doing?
Hi Charles, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you also for honoring our invitation.
You're welcome.
On Stay Tuned Buddies. And my first question I wanted to ask you is, what is student visa? To you, what is student visa?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. So a student visa is actually you getting a legal authorization to travel to a foreign country, like moving from Ghana to the United States to study. Yes.
Wow, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Explanation. And in your experience, can someone with a visiting visa be considered also as a student?
Nope.
Okay.
It's actually, I think it would depend on the country. But so far, I've been to France, and I moved from France to the United States with students' visas. So I've actually not come across with anybody with a visiting visa who eventually changed it to be a student visa. There might be other ways which I don't really know. So normally, when you come here with a visiting visa and you still want to study, you have to go back home, apply or something, and just come back here with a valid student visa.
All right. So, like we said, we're also going to leave a link on websites that you can go to research more on, you know, changing your status from a visiting to a student visa and how it's properly done. Yes. And also, my next question is, for you to get a student visa, do you have to apply for a school first, or what is like? Or you just go to the American embassy and just say, I want a student visa, and they just give it to you?
Oh yeah, thank you for the question once again. So it's actually a process. So you have to first get a good GPA. That is how you can get one of the best schools in America. Normally, you should have at least a 3.0, a GPA of 3.0 to gain admissions with scholarship, in fact. Because if you are actually coming to the US to study and pay out of pocket, trust me, it's really, really expensive. Yes, so I'll encourage us to actually do best in school and get like 3.0 for a GPA and try applying to scholarship. That's one thing most people don't know, that there are scholarship opportunities in the US. Yes.
And I think in other places, because you have been in France.
Yes, so in France, I actually didn't see anything like scholarship because their fees are very low. When I was in France, you could pay like 200 euros for the whole year for a master's degree.
No.
But in the US, you have to pay like
Almost
14,000, yeah, for a whole year, $14,000.
Yeah.
So that's really expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
But to get
for the
it,
whole program,
yes.
for 40,000, but
No, for a year, you can pay like,
depending
yeah.
on which
Exactly.
which institution you are in.
Exactly, depends on the years. Because a semester can cost like $14,000. So the next semester, you can imagine. So 28,000 a year, that would be too much.
Okay. Yes, just to add to what she was saying, also in the US, it's been broken down into 3 categories. But you can correct me if I'm wrong, and I want to leave it's down there for you to see how the breakdown is like. So the first is, we have an in-state. In-state is a person who is actually from the state, has been living in the state for at least a year, is a resident from the state, and is applying for a school within the states that he's in, like Georgia here. You know, you want to apply for school, you have been living in Georgia for a year and you're applying to school, you're considered as an in-state, provided you are a green card holder or a citizen. And out of state is someone who is not actually a resident of that state and wants to come to a university within that state. So it could be somebody from New York and coming to Georgia to school over here. That person is considered an out of state, and the person's tuition is different. And most cases, an out of state student's tuition is higher than an in-state student's tuition. Another one is also like her situation, which was international students. So international students, like she's saying, can come here with a scholarship, or they have the funds, or some people do have the funds to pay for their tuition, and theirs is also higher. Their tuition is higher, like we were talking about. Some institutions or universities do take between 40,000 or for a year, for an academical year. So it's really pricey over here in the US compared to other countries, like, you know, my guest over here who has also had an opportunity to also school in France, where education is a little bit cheaper for an international student. And also thank you for also telling us about the GPA and how it also works. So does it mean if somebody has a GPA of 2.5, the person will not get a scholarship at all, or the chances is very low?
Yes, the chances of getting a scholarship is really low. Because there are other students who have like a higher GPA.
Wow.
Yes, the cutoff point normally is 3.0. So when you get 3, at least it should go higher than 3.0, because your transcript will be evaluated. So if it doesn't really get to the standard of the American standard, it means you are getting down. So I will encourage all of us to try. If you really want to study in the United States, you have to really try hard to get a GPA higher than 3.0.
Wow. Starting from her applying to her actually doing her course and successfully graduating. This is a graduate over here. She's a French major, and we'll leave a link to her YouTube channel. And she also teaches French online. So if you need more information, we'll put it down in our link below where you can contact her for French to English classes or English to French classes. She also teaches math, and if you need someone to help you or guide you with your math classes. So thank you so much,
You're
Ms.
welcome.
Juliet, for
Thank
your
you for
time.
having
We
me.
appreciate you coming out of your busy time to appear over here.
I'll always
and
appear
educate.
for you.
Exactly, and educate us on that. So without further ado, please like and share and subscribe and tell somebody about this channel. And like my stay tuned buddy will say, if you are not informed, you will be
Deformed.
Stay tuned for this. Stay tuned.
Thank
buddies.
you.